Hey, all right, I just put it up on the Facebook. Yeah, I refer to it as the Facebook, the after the show. I actually shot one and then I realized it didn't post. So this is kind of take two of the after the show. Great to be with you. And thank you for being part of things at Nothing But Truth, nothingbut.truth.com, probably on AFR Talk. We talked to Hans von Spakovsky tonight about immigration. While we all understand why people want to be here and want to stay here, we do have the rule of law, and you can't undermine that and not have a consequence to that. 1986 certainly demonstrated how that works. If you allow for illegal immigration, you will get more of it. Plus, you look at the economic consequences as well. So, as we look to solve the problem, first and foremost, enforce the laws, and we're not doing that right now. We could also do e-verify and take away the magnets to why people are coming here, and understand why good people can agree to disagree on this. But if you set up a second tier system for amnesty, you have a subclass of citizens in doing that. And again, you are going to incentivize more of this. The good people of Arizona, as well as so many in America, just want our laws enforced and want our federal government to do its job. And that's not racist. Okay? It's not racist to enforce the law. And people of all colors agree with that. It's a very irresponsible charge and one that's meant to deflect from the true issue. And that is to enforce the law. Take away the magnets. Help Mexico move toward free market reforms and demand accountability in that. We also have the E-Verify system. So when we look at immigration, we've got to look at how it benefits the United States, because we do have a debt crisis right now. Also, we've got to do what's best for America, as any country does for itself. The other part to that is that when we're talking about the issue of being an American, we've got to be an American first, in the sense that we're not hyphenated. And we have groups that are supporting amnesty that are looking to balkanize into racial and ethnic groups. And while absolutely celebrating your culture, I have no problem with, but when that is used for a power base politically, and making people not equal under the law, but actually judged by the color of their skin, it has a it has a deleterious effect, and one that undermines our foundation as a country. And it took a while for us to live up to being equal under the law. But we've gotten there, and now we're taking steps backward. And the further you go with that policy, the more divided we grow, and we don't see each other as Americans, as one nation under God. So, yes, with liberty and justice for all, of course. Understanding that you don't have justice for all if some people are more equal than others, and you have the state determining just that based on color of skin, ethnicity. It's just, well, you know what it is. All right, so Hans and I talked about that a little tonight. We also talked with our good friend John Tamny on the consequences of technology and really economic development when we produce more, when people are succeeding. Economic mobility as well. And those of you that would accuse me of saying, you're worshiping the dollar. No, you are. I'm worshiping God and the freedom to do that and to use our godly gifts. You're stressing the money and who gets what. And I don't like you in that state. I don't think you'd want me in that position either. Who gets what? Because when you do that, You change where power comes from, and you change where people look for their direction. And you become dependent on the state. The state's going to tell you what gifts you can use. I much prefer going to God the Father saying, you created me, allow me to use my gifts, show me my gifts, and hopefully doing so in accordance with my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So there's a lot there. I'll leave it, but please know that I certainly understand why people want to come to America, why people have different points of view on this. And we can have that discussion. We also talked with James S. Robbins tonight about Benghazi. We will continue to give you updates and the truth. This should be front page story after front page story after front page story. It is here at Crane Durham's Nothing But Truth. Unfortunately, the mainstream media, ideologically driven, has a willful blindness toward this subject overall, and as well as to the consequences of the policies of a president, our president, and his liberal policies and the consequences of those. State of the Union preview tomorrow night. We're going to have some fun doing that, and we'll also give a response. So we'll have our State of the Union, we'll have a State of the Union preview show on that, and then we'll have the response to the State of the Union. You're going to get fully served. And if you're interested in Dr. Carson, I've written the first part of my piece on Dr. Carson. The second part will be up tomorrow morning. You can vote, and you can be part of Crane's court, become part of Crane's jury by registering, and then you can vote and move the meter one way or another if you agree or disagree with the criticism of Dr. Carson. I thought it was an amazing speech, by the way. Of course, you know that if you listen to the show. And I want to thank Jim Hoft as well. So we thank James Robbins, Hans von Spakovsky, John Tamney, Jim Hoft, as well as my team of, well, the crew. AFR Talk. Thank you. Crane Durham's Nothing But Truth. We'll see you next time.